Yo.
All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome. We're here. We're live. Welcome to a new Poker Life podcast. My name is Joey from One, aka Chicago Joey. I don't know how this stream's going to work out today. I'm streaming with a different internet from the past couple of days I've been using here in Germany. So we'll see if I break down or not. And we're joined today by my friend Martin Bradstreet, aka Alexei Martov, aka Magic Ninja, aka anything else. Is that all the AKAs for you, puppy?
I think that's enough AKAs.
All right, so I'm looking on the YouTube channel right now, and I don't know if the comments are working. So we might not be able to get our comments not working. Comments are currently unavailable. So Martin, it might just be me and you, kid. I literally wrote down 4 things for this podcast. That I wrote down what you sent me on Facebook the other day.
No, I can see the comments.
You can see the comments on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm smiling at people, saying hello.
Hello.
Andreas is saying hello, everyone. Podcast number 2. That's right.
Well, I think you've kind of been on a couple live streams from time to time as well. You've kind of you've been on here a few times. Where you're one of the people that someone said on Twitter that you're their favorite band now after they found you on the last podcast.
They said that on Twitter? How did I miss that?
Yeah, they said I can't wait. Like he's one of my favorite bands since I saw him on the podcast.
That's much love to whoever that person was. That's great.
I think that's pretty sick. Hey, if you could send me, you should be able to pop the comments out on YouTube. Can you send me the link for the comments on YouTube and
just the comments?
Yeah, just the comments.
How do is that the flag to pop it out, or what am I?
There should be something on the side in the bottom left that lets you pop it out. Bet race now.
It's not. How do I send you a message now? You want me to Facebook message you?
Yeah, just send me the Facebook link, puppy.
That's where I am, but I'm trying to work out how to pop out the comments now. More comments.
Okay, might not do it. Yeah, I don't know. I installed some new thing on my computer called something to suspend tabs, and that's the only thing I've done lately new to my computer. So it might be because of that.
I see no clue as to how to pop this window out. So I think unless it's already popped out.
Yeah, maybe they changed that settings. I don't know. We're starting off rocky this time, buddies. But I'm gonna get the comments.
We're giving
bonus troubleshooting edition right here, kid.
We're letting people kind of build a little anticipation.
Yeah, let me try this. See what happens. How you doing, Martin? Are you back home Toronto?
Yeah, I'm in Montreal right now. So. We traveled for a couple months and then got back maybe July, towards the end of July. Maybe the end of, I don't know. It all kind of comes into a blur. Like we toured for a couple months and then we come back and we've been back maybe a month and a half.
So when you say that you're referring to your band, your band, it's called Alexei Martov, and you guys just got done with an American tour where you guys went to a bunch of cities in America. We talked about this last time. I think you were about to go on it.
We were about to go on it. I was probably like madly booking it, and probably somewhat stressed about that aspect of it. But I think it turned out pretty good. We played 25 shows, and that was kind of. We kind of got everywhere this time, we drove basically from Montreal out to San Diego. So that's pretty much from one tip of North America to the other,
Mm-hmm. That sounds like quite the journey. Like, what was it like living on the road when you're traveling? You're sleeping in hotels? Were you sleeping in like an RV or something? Like, what were you guys doing?
We're usually sleeping in, I'd say half and half between staying with. Like if we've got friends that have got a setup that's kind of like more fun as opposed to desperate, you know what I mean? Like if it's going to kind of suck for everyone involved for us to stay with friends and stuff, we'll just stay in a hotel, a motel. But yeah. So a lot of Motel 6s, or like Super 8s.
Yeah, it sounds like you stayed in some interesting places.
Yeah, Super 8's got this, they all have these waffle machines. They got like a waffle making machine. That's the difference between Motel 6 and Super 8, for those who ever want to know. The Super 8s kind of have this free breakfast with waffle machines. And you probably pay about $6 for that. privilege. So that's the equation there. If you're trying to play GTO, you got to work out how much breakfast is worth for 3 people.
Hey, they're upset about the word GTO. I saw Jamie Kerstetter, who thinks she's funny, put on Twitter the other day that they want to crowdfund for me to stop saying the word GTO, and I said I'm not going to stop saying GTO. I just can't do it.
No, you can just keep it up.
Yeah, I got to keep saying it, kid. So
you get a lot of press for haters.
I guess that's true. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, the Brian Hastings treatment sort of thing, right?
Well, sure. Yeah. So overall, I'd say it wound up pretty well. We met a lot of interesting people, and we played some decent sized shows. And we got down to Austin. We filmed another music video in Austin, out in West Texas, with Jay Rosencrantz and his brother. Those two sort of shot this video out in Marfa, West Texas, which is like, Marfa is this sort of spot 6 hours west of Austin, and it's like an arts commune out in the desert, basically. Mm-hmm. And there's this kind of modernist art movement there, lots of weird white buildings, and so we kind of drove around shooting this video, which was kind of fun. Yeah.
Is that the Penguin video?
No, so that's actually the Penguin video, which I'll actually link in the chat a little bit later, just in case anyone hasn't seen that, because it's kind of, I might even just throw it in there now, but I'll do it later. I'll do it after.
I'll put the link. I'll put the link in the description if you're watching this after the fact, and you can.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Penguin video was if anyone hasn't seen it, it's kind of this. It's for a track called Neural Awakening we made, set in Montreal, and it's kind of the confluence of a few ideas where me and do you know Cowpig, Max McRae?
I feel like I've heard the name.
That guy.
I don't know if I've ever met him.
His sister kind of helps us with some band stuff, and me and her were talking, and at the start of this song, we have this toy penguin. It's called Pingu, if you've ever seen Pingu the cartoon. It's this like claymation penguin made by the Swedes, and it only talks by going like, you know? That's the point of Pingu, is it's like this family dynamic with claymation penguins that only communicate with these weird noises. And yet you still know exactly what's going on, you know?
Okay, I don't know, but okay.
Sure. So there's a cartoon. It's claymation. It's made with penguins. One of them's Pingu. I've got a Pingu doll that makes these noises. And so when we went to the studio, I figured as the drop was going to come on one of these songs, you know, like in EDM, how there's a drop. It's kind of like that with like rock music or whatever. I figured I'd hit the penguin because it sounds like it's crazy, and it'll be like, you know, and then the drums and bass will kick in and it'll go crazy, you know? So like we were in electrical audio, right? It's like this, you know, it's like a 11,000 square foot recording studio in Chicago, like Steve Albini's there. We got like a $7,000 tube microphone set up, and I've got this little penguin doll, and I'm like, you ready? You ready? This is the take. And I'll just so it was kind of funny.
So then you just decided to make the whole entire video theme penguin themed.
So so that was the first part of how this crazy penguin video came to be. The second part was I just watched Gangs of New York, and I was talking to Tess, and I was like, we should film an epic fight scene. Like, I don't know why, like, I just want to make one, you know? Mm. So let's try to find a way to fit it into one of our music videos. And then the last thing was I kind of wanted to order some stuff from China using Alibaba, you know, because I was kind of curious how that worked and how if the shipping was competitive and if you could like order a lot of stuff. So I was like, what I'm going to do is I'll order 50 penguin suits, and we'll just tell people we're going to have this fight on the mountain between penguins and humans, you know? And we'll film this epic fight scene. And so me and Tess sat down and like she storyboarded it, and we kind of went over it for a long time, and then we got someone to shoot it, Ryan McDowell, and Tess maybe shot 30% of it, and made this kind of thing. A lot of people got involved and ended up being pretty good, I think.
I like it. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the video, like I said, I'll put the link in the description. You can check it out. You mentioned I can see some of the chats. I found some sort of like, I don't know if I can see all the comments or if I can just see people, because I see Ross, I see Andre, I see Marco, I see Hassan, I see you commenting, but I don't see anyone else in the comments. And so I don't know if I'm seeing them all or what's going on, but I can see some comments. So I'll yeah, we have that going on right now. So you said you and Jay Rosencrantz, you guys randomly showed up in Las Vegas. I think you just like showed up to the pool that one day when I like looked over and I saw you.
Yeah. So I decided to see how much of my life I can kind of. So I was like, what if I just fly from touring the last city we tour in and then just fly to Vegas the next day and play World Series events? Like, can I kind of manage that schedule, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to do, just kind of figuring, you know, maybe it's GTO, maybe not, you know, but you can't, it's like my brother would call this an exploration versus exploitation problem. It's kind of like a neural network kind of thing where, like, unless you try to like Elon Musk it up and like do all the things at once, you don't really know if it's possible or not. So I was like, you know what I'll do? I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep a night, touring out of a van, but like, let's just fly straight to the series and start playing events the next day, you know, after 2 months on the road. So I did that, and I actually think it's doable. I organized to meet up with Jay there because we've been doing more and more video stuff together. And I don't know, we've been talking about a few ideas, kind of going down the rabbit hole with a few of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we showed up at that pool party for Brian Hastings' his birthday, and that was fun. That was cool. It was kind of funny taste of like a past life, you know?
Yeah, I think well, like Raptor was there for a bit, and yeah, there was a lot of poker players there. It was pretty fun gathering there.
Sure, yeah. It was a nice day. You know, it's like when I got there, like Jay's talking to 2 Swiss airline attendants. he's just like chatting to these 2 Swiss. They're there in Vegas for the night, and I'm like, man, this is like past life, you know?
Yeah, I think when I saw you, you were like, "Are you gonna do any like? You gonna go any raging?" I was like, "What are you talking about? I thought you were retired from raging." And
yeah, it's
interesting. You seem like you were interested in going out that night or going out while you were out there at least.
Well, you know, there's sort of like a lot of people that it's hard to kind of see a lot of people that I want to see in their element without kind of doing a little bit of that. I mean, I'm not doing the rage part, but like I still want to hang out with those people, you know? It's like I feel like there's more to them. Like some of them not so much, but like a lot of the people I've met through poker, it's like there's more to the relationship than just like dinner at Nobu, you know?
For sure. That's funny.
Yeah. So, you know, definitely with Jay, me and him have been doing a lot of stuff in you ever try one of those virtual reality headsets?
No, we had Jay in the cast. He talked a bunch about it, and I kind of wanted to do something when I was out in Vegas, but I just didn't end up filming anything while I was there. I ended up doing like 3 podcasts in a month, so I just didn't do anything. But I wanted to check it out and see what it was about.
Sure, I'll yeah, we'll work that out sometime. But I've started shooting like 360 video for that, so you can put a headset on and like watch my band and like look around the space, and sort of it's kind of crazy. You need like 6 GoPros, a 3D printed mount to film this type of video, and then use software to stitch it all together. It's kind of a interesting new thing that's going to happen.
So you guys filmed this already, or you haven't done it yet?
Well, I've started filming content to get the hang of the materials. The Opus Magnum. I don't know. The something good is a little while away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it should be something interesting for the future. I saw the last thing you were up to is you went to what, Tomorrowland, or?
Yeah, I went to Tomorrowland in Belgium.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So I went with a friend, and I met other people there. I actually saw Chris Chris, Go Muck Yourself. I saw him. I had him on a podcast before. I actually saw him randomly there. I was walking around, and then I saw him sitting down with another guy that used to play Nullman online. And that was that was a very random meeting there. And then, yeah, I mainly just hung out with the person I went there with, and then I ended up coming to Germany with her. And yeah, now I'm trying to figure out my life, kid.
yeah, it's that's a tricky one. I don't have any sage advice except to just take it easy and see what happens.
Yeah, are you still you're still dating the same girl from New York?
Yeah, well, she's actually from Montreal. She just she went to school in New York. Mm-hmm. She did her MBA there, and she's been working in Portland weekly. So she flies in every week to Portland, although she just finished doing that this week.
How was
Portland, Oregon? You ever go out to Portland, Oregon?
Yeah, I mean, I drove through there to Canada one time, but I can't say I hung out there. And
it's interesting. I don't know how I have mixed feelings on it, but it's a cool place. Yeah, there's definitely it's like a culture there. Good food. I flew a plane there.
You flew a plane in Portland?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
I guess I was, it's like my birthday, kind of, I don't know, I don't really do the birthday thing, but Chelsea likes it, so she, I guess she just decided this would be a birthday weekend, without my knowledge, really. So she's like, we're going to go to the beach for your birthday on Saturday, and I'm like, okay, that sounds like fun. And so we just start driving, and she pulls up the car at like some random parking lot, and I'm like navigating, so I'm like, this wasn't me. Like, I'm a better navigator than this. I know this ain't the beach. And she's like, surprise, but we're still just in the parking lot. And I'm kind of like trying to work out what it is, and then we go in, and it's like, oh, I got you a flying lesson type thing. So I meet this guy, and he's kind of hanging out. I'm wearing flip-flops because I think I'm going to the beach, Mm-hmm. But fortuitously was wearing the aviator sunglasses. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm wearing flip-flops and like a bathing suit. And so I meet this guy, and I'm like, well, let's fly the plane. Hop in the plane. It's kind of interesting feeling at first. I hadn't been in a small plane before, but it was kind of fun.
Why did she decide to get you a plane flight lesson for birthday?
I'm not sure. I'm definitely pretty obsessed with the Wright brothers, so maybe that played into it. I don't really know her logic. Maybe it's like he likes doing weird shit. I'm sure he'll like flying a plane. I think maybe I'd talked about it before as well. I think it would be pretty sweet to be able to fly one around.
I think it'd be pretty fun. I mean, especially if you like the Wright brothers, then obviously flying.
Yeah, I do a lot.
In doing. Hassan said, I can see some of the comments. So Hassan said, sorry, can we get an introduction to Alexei for those new to the podcast? So, all right. So Alexei Martov, a.k.a. Magic Ninja, a.k.a. Martin Bradstreet. Martin's posted on 2+2 for a very long time with a screen of Magic Ninja. Came up with the term street poker, I believe. I'm just going to give him credit. He's been playing. He was on a movie called Bet Raise Fold that I think it was Jay and Ryan, Jay Rosencrantz and Ryan, who came up with that movie, Bet Raise Fold, correct?
Yes. Okay.
So he was one of the guys featured in Bet Raise Fold, and he's been playing. He used to play more of the high stakes games when he was just playing poker. Then he started doing more music. Still plays poker. Lives in Montreal. I've had him on the podcast, I think once or twice. Had him on a couple live streams, and yeah, that's it. That summed it up in like 30 seconds pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I was just calling someone's bluff here. This wolf guy wants me to avoid my nose, and I'm telling him I have the discipline to do it.
Why does he want you to avoid your nose?
He thinks I'm touching my nose too much. So
are you? I didn't even notice. I thought you. I didn't know you're touching your nose.
I don't know. I guess it was happening. Because he's got that proposition for me. You can't touch your nose for the remainder of the show. How much? So I'm gonna free roll him $100.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Now you're okay. Free money potentially out here on the podcast.
Yeah, I ain't touching this nose though.
Okay, so your bands. You went on tour 25 cities. What was the turnout for the places?
Oh, this might actually be kind of tough. Okay, yeah. So we started out in so we recorded an album a little while ago with Steve Albini. He's also a poker player. That's how I know him. And we decided to tour around it some. So I booked this 25 show tour in the US, and we started out in we drove through Canada from Montreal down to Hamilton, Ontario, London, Ontario. We played with this awesome band, Zoobombs, there. And this band, Zoobombs, oh, I almost touched it. This band, Zoobombs, I'd seen when I first moved to Montreal, and they're like crazy, high energy, really crazy, Japanese kind of like noise rock band. And when I first saw them in Montreal, I was just in front of the stage, just like laughing kind of crazily because I just didn't know how to digest it. You know, I was just like, where did this come from? I was like, I didn't really know how to respond. I was like, whatever this is, like, this is before I was in a band, you know, and I was like, I need this in my life. I need to be like this Japanese Jimi Hendrix type character that's like crazy, flipping out. And I don't know, it's kind of maybe 5 years since then, and we ended up somehow getting on a bill with them in London, Ontario. So that was just one of the shows, but it was kind of crazy to end up playing with this band Zoobombs. And
so you, when you saw them 5 years ago, you weren't really doing much music, or what?
Well, I was doing a lot of music, but I wasn't like playing in a band, you know.
Okay, yeah,
I didn't have a band together, so it was kind of this sort of come full circle type thing. When I sent an email to the booking agent guy, I was like, oh, you know, we would love to play at Call the Office. It's a great venue. Heard it's the best in Ontario. You know, we want to come and be a part of it, you know. Radiohead's played there, for example. But then a lot of, like, punk bands. It's kind of got this aesthetic if you go in and it's like, you know how you sort of see the sort of rooms that you imagine people do AA in or something, and you know a lot of cigarettes have been smoked there and a lot of sort of stories have been told, and there's just kind of like, you walk in and you know there's this kind of like beer-soaked history that's happening there, you know? This venue is a lot like that, you know, like, you know, every night someone's just kind of like really pouring it out there. And he was like, oh yeah, we could maybe put you on this bill with Zoobombs from Japan. And I'm like, Zoobombs? And I'm like just remembering like the memory of it. And I'm like, whatever I can, like, this has to happen. So just tell me what I have to do, and this will, and I will do it, you know? Yeah. So that ended up being a pretty sweet start to the tour we did, because it was just like, you know, it's real like come full circle type thing. Kind of makes you realize why you do it, you know?
It's pretty awesome.
And that was just, we played a lot of shows, you know. We went down to Austin and I saw Jay. We filmed a video out there. So we got there through Chicago, played out in, we went through Memphis, ate some barbecue there. And then we sort of, I don't know, there was shows along the whole tour. But there's probably an itinerary online somewhere if people want the details. But the long story short is we went all the way out west, got to hang out with CTS and catch up with him, which was cool because we literally just drove there. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just drive over to your place from Montreal.
You know what? You know what's sick is that, okay, so when you were in San Diego, I was there for a month at the same time you were there. So I was so I saw Cole a few times when I was out there, and I saw a bunch of all this other San Diego poker guys.
Yeah, David Podgorski and stuff.
Yeah, the day of, I saw someone on Facebook going to this event, your show. I was like, wait, I was like, Martin's here tonight? But that weekend, I was laying in bed because that weekend, let's just say I had a very tough weekend in terms of.
Sure, on the brain cells.
Yeah, so I look up, I'm like, can I get out of bed? I was like, I want to go. I was like, how can I not go to this? Like, it's right here. But I was like, I can't move. I stayed in bed for 4 days straight. I couldn't get out of bed. So it kind of, it was, but I heard. No,
I know the feeling. Everything kind of hurts, but you haven't done any exercise. Yeah.
Yeah. It was how was so for the shows? How were were you the main? Are you guys the main band on like? So you mentioned you did a show with the band from Japan. So were you the main band on some of these? Like, were people coming out specifically to see you guys, or like,
yeah? I mean, in some places, but I mean, when we're in Beaumont, Texas, playing at some bar with the glowing Budweiser sign on a Sunday, you know, they're like not really coming. You know what I mean? Like, we're headlining the show, but people aren't really coming to see us there. That's like a different type of thing, you know. Whereas other ones, like for sure, like anyone that came to see us was there to see us, you know. I think we did a 3-show tour in like a mini tour. Sometimes you kind of hook up with another band and do a little mini tour. We did a little mini tour in Texas that with this band Chaska that are like these crazy, they're like very Queen influenced, but they have these crazy costumes and they just really, it's very unique. It's very theatrical. And we played 3 shows in Texas with them, just kind of driving around Texas. And that was kind of inspiring in some ways because they really have like, they'll be playing at some sort of maybe mid-tier kind of divey-ish place. And then they'll get set up on stage and you're like, whoa, party has arrived. You know, like it kind of makes you feel like, oh, it's not just, you know, like they bring it. You know what I mean? Even if it's not there, they're capable of being like, oh, we'll just bring it if it's not there.
That's it. I mean, that would, I think that the people that really, I think you almost have to have that, don't you? You have to be able to bring it when, like, you have to bring yourself up. Like, if you can get yourself up to this high level of energy to do a performance when no one else is there, then isn't that sort of the marking of a
well,
better performer?
So you can, there's kind of 2 ways to go with that. And I think it depends on the actual atmosphere of the venue you're playing at. So like, if there's 10 people in the audience, right, you kind of can't go dance party with it, you know? Like, maybe you should almost bring it down a bit and really try to pull people in and like be like, you know what, guys? I mean, I don't really do this in maybe as, like, maybe I should kind of raise even more with this kind of approach and be like, well, people are kind of chilling or whatever, why don't I just be like, look, I'm not even going to play electric guitar. I'm just going to whip out the piano, play some acoustic guitar, and do a bit more singer-songwritery kind of stuff until maybe I can get them a bit rowdier, you know? But because you really feed off what the audience is doing. It's kind of like comedy in a way, even though I don't really think a lot of people think that. So that's one way to go. The other is just to set up the crazy lights and smoke machine and just be like, we're going to do it this way regardless, because that's just kind of how we roll. And like, that's what they do, you know, like if there's, you know, 100 people in the audience or like 15, you know, like they're still going to set up the crazy production and put on the, like, you know, checkered, like elastine pants and like, you know what I mean? Like they're a very theatrical band. But, that was overall, a lot of fun.
Overall, are you pleased with how things went? I mean, what's next? What's the next step for you guys?
So it's tricky. It's the music industry is very difficult. Like touring in the United States requires a lot of preparation with visas and that sort of thing. But you know, we're just gonna keep doing it, keep playing shows. I'd like to keep making a lot more videos. Like we had a lot of fun making the Penguin video, and I think that, you know, it's not that hard to get people to watch your awesome video. You know, it's actually kind of hard to get someone to listen to your whole awesome album, because there's so much out there, you know. And like, I even know as like a passionate music listener that I'm a lot more likely to watch a music video than I am to just, you know, unless I'm already into the band. Once they've kind of pulled me in and I'm into their world and I'm invested in that band, then I can throw it on Spotify and listen to it for a couple hours, you know? But like to become exposed to a band, I find that a lot of the time that'll usually happen watching videos. And so I figure it would be cool to kind of bring the art of that kind of almost into the band more, you know? Like, just be like, look, people are going to watch the videos, so let's try to make those really awesome as well. And, like, release 7 of them when we release an album, you know? Like, let's just have a 40-minute music video that's cut into the different songs, you know? Like an episodic movie through song, you know? So that's kind of, I'd kind of like to make a longer sort of, not like a feature film or something, but like something that's video-based that also is a way to listen to the music, but maybe be more than that. That plus VR. Like, I also want to build something in VR that we kind of, like maybe scoring VR experiences. For example, I was talking about the Wright brothers. The first flight was in this place, Kitty Hawk. That's in North Carolina. It's kind of got a lot of wind, sand, that kind of thing. I think it would be cool just to set up a 360 camera there, film that area, and then have music playing in the background, you know? So that you can put that on, you can look around the space, and they'll kind of be like scored music, you know?
Doesn't that stuff cost money, though, to do that type?
I mean, no, if you, like, yes, except if you do it yourself, then it doesn't, you know? Not completely yourself, but you can, like, massively reduce the cost of this kind of thing. I would rather spend money on the equipment. Like, I'd rather buy the cameras and then be like, hey guys, come help me shoot some shit with this crazy technology I bought, you know? So I'd rather provide a platform that other people who are interested in making this kind of content can, like, work with me and work with, you know, sometimes you do need professional people to help, you know, like the guy that shot the Penguin video, like we hired him as camera guy for like maybe 70% of the shots. So like he got paid, but like besides him, there were no other costs because we had bought the camera that we shot on. Tess was doing it sort of pro bono because she just wanted to make an awesome movie. Like, so we greatly reduced the cost of doing it. And we also kind of allowed Tess to like direct a movie, you know? That we kind of built an environment where people could make some really cool shit, you know? I'd rather do it that way and then just because it leads somewhere, you know what I mean? Like if I just pay someone 20 grand to make an awesome music video, it doesn't really, like once that's out there, there's not like a team of people who are like really in love with having created it. There's nothing in the future except maybe, oh, well, let's pay more money and make an even more awesome video. Whereas now it's like, we've developed the skills to make a pretty cool movie. Now we can make an even better one next time, an even better next one. It's almost like a separate pathway to the music thing, you know?
It's kind of interesting strategy to take with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the more people that you can get involved in creating, you know, like the more people that care about it, especially if you kind of have a vision of how it all fits together, you can kind of, I don't know, get a lot of people involved in creating something that's bigger than just like, you know, some song I write or something, you know?
Yeah, kind of like going the video route, obviously, because I wouldn't say obviously, but everything's on, you know, with YouTube being so popular as it is,
right?
People are they're much more willing to consume. Like instead of listening to your song or watching a performance, they're much more interested in just watching a video because they get to watch something while listening. It's just like a more engaging way for the.
Sure, I love music videos, you know, especially if the song's great, you know. I don't think there's any replacement for the. I don't think there's any replacement for the live experience, you know. I think it's just so different from watching a video, but I do think it's kind of cool maybe to be able to bring some of the aesthetic from videos into like a stage performance. For example, if we were like shooting in, like if we made something, this next album we're gonna we'll start recording another album. And if there's an aesthetic to the album, being able to put that into the movie form and have continuity across the movie, across the album sound, and then onto the stage performance, you've kind of got this whole sort of thing that people can become a part of, you know? And it's not, you don't quite get there, but, you know, it's still kind of something, you know, trying is almost half of it.
Yeah, I think, I guess if you're, like, I mean, is your goal with the band, like, I mean, is it to become as popular as you can be? Is it just to try to open up exposure for people to hear your music? Like, what sort of like, where would you like to be with it?
The goal is basically, it's easier for me to think about my own goals by working out what the goals for the guys in my band should be, even though I should have similar goals. But it's like I've got some money saved that I'm kind of using to fund stuff. But like for them, and also for myself, just for the fact of it's kind of stressful not like earning tons of money. The goal is basically making it self-sustaining, you know, so that you're able to continue doing it like at the level you'd like to do it. So I don't want to be put in a position where the quality of the thing is massively compromised because I'm like, look, I know it's not that good. I just couldn't spend all my time doing it, you know? Like, I want to be able to say, like, look, I do this shit like 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and if you don't like it, that's fine. But like, I'm putting out something that I feel is a quality piece of, you know, just a piece of art or entertainment or whatever you want to call it. So not being able to do it in that way, like being forced to do something else that then like diminishes the quality of what we're actually creating, that would be frustrating, you know?
You mentioned you're playing some poker. You said you're playing some 2-5 Zoom PLO. Is that what you've been grinding?
Yeah, I mean, I grinded. So when I was touring, they took Supernova away. So, like, Poker Stars, that's for you. Like, that's insanely frustrating with the rake increases. You know, the Supernova was important, but you know, I actually think that live poker is the way forward for someone in my spot. You know, I don't think that the live games are that hard. I was playing, you know, much higher than 2-5 in Vegas, and it's very beatable. And my band, I want to focus more on Japan and China than Europe. I feel like those are places I'd rather tour. I mean, I like Europe as well, but like, I think that'll just kind of happen automatically. Whereas I don't think that you get to tour China unless you really try to work out a way, and it takes a long time. Man, this nose itching is going to kill me. Okay. So if we go that route, what would be great is touring in China and then heading down to Macau every time we go there. You know, that would be pretty optimal.
What were you playing when you were in Vegas? What games were you playing? The Bellagio 5100 games or 2550 games?
No, I was playing like 1020 at the Rio. That was fine. I played the 3K PLO. That was like, it was okay.
Not that fun.
Yeah, not that fun. Yeah, I did find been having a lot of arguments about how to play tournaments. Well, not really arguments, but I've been thinking a lot about tournament.
Okay, please. Let's discuss this because I've been thinking a lot about PLO tournaments as well. Is it PLO tournaments or no limit tournaments?
Yeah. Sorry, PLO. I don't play
PLO. Okay. You high over there, kid? What's up with you?
Yeah, it's lag. That's what it is. So, PLO tournaments, right? So, say you're in a PLO tournament, and your table decides. Okay, there's two things. One thing is, I play poker. I play cash poker. Anytime I got 51% equity, I should get the money in. Right? That's part A of how to think about poker in a tournament environment. Okay. Part B, though, is say you've got 1,000 people in a poker tournament field, right? And every time you're at a tournament table, you tell the other 8 players, let's just collude and change money. We'll just trade blinds, right? Okay. So every table you're at just trades blinds. The top 11 places, or the top 20 places, 10 of those players are going to be the ones at your table. Right?
What the hell are you talking about right now?
Let me try to make it simpler.
Okay.
Okay, so in a tournament, there's people talk about tournament life, right?
Okay.
Your tournament life. How are you meant to think about the value of that? Like pragmatically speaking, like what is your tournament life worth? There's a lot of discussions in tournaments about that exact concept, and as skill levels relative to each other, as the playing field becomes flatter and everyone becomes very good rather than just like I think it's harder to be truly exceptional at poker now. I think that there's a lot of people that are truly exceptional. And I think that the people that are merely very good are like not that much worse. And the people that are very good, you know what I mean? It's becoming flatter. Mm-hmm. You look at like Party Poker 2008 or something, 2007, and like if you plotted the 9 best players at the toughest table at any point in time, they would have like dramatically different skill sets. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the 9 best players on Party Poker in 2006 probably were wildly different in skill ratings. Like the 9th best guy was probably Grimstar, you know?
As an old school name right there.
Right. So you know what I'm saying though?
So what?
Poker used to be like
PLO tournaments. What do you mean? How does it apply to PLO tournaments in your opinion right now then? Right.
So I think that the playing field is flatter. Everyone's pretty good at poker now. You know what I mean? There's not that much you can do to just own people, which means that you have to move closer towards optimal strategy, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't get people into 80-20 situations all the time, you start being like, I better take 60-40 ones. Know what I'm saying? So there's that. The other thing is that when you're playing a tournament, say that the table you're at, the 9 players at your table just decide to trade blinds, right?
Okay.
So just think about how that's going. Your table's doing that, and all other tables are playing in a normal way, right? Your table will never bust. No one at your table will ever bust. There's no way for a player at your table to bust, right?
Right.
Every other table will keep busting. You'll get moved to a different table, and then you say, hey, guys, let's just trade blinds, right? And they're like, okay, I know what you're talking about with this blind trading thing. Let's do that, right? You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, this is very hypothetical. I think they'd say no, but I mean, okay, let's continue on.
Let's just say that they say that, right? Okay. So now your table trades blinds. Another 100 players bust. You get moved again. You're like, look, my tables, they don't play poker. We just trade blinds. Everyone's like, you know what? That's ingenious. They're down. So they do it. Everyone trades blinds. Another 100 players bust. Now there's only 100 players left. You get changed to a table. You're already in the money at this point, right? You're like, let's just keep trading blinds. Those guys can all bust each other. It's basically like treating the first hand of poker as being on the bubble, right? Why is the bubble important? Why is the bubble important in tournament poker?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you answer that question. I played 4 tournaments in my life, kid. I don't think about tournaments.
Well, look, it's if you're on the bubble, the difference between busting and being the guy that doesn't bust is like a massive difference in terms of how much you pay to start relative to how much, like you're going to get 2 buy-ins just for being second last in the tournament at that point. You know what I mean? Between you and the guy with the next smallest stack, say there's 5 guys with tiny stacks, right? Being one of the 4 that make it, it's not like a little bit better than busting. It's like massively better than busting. You know what I mean? Say you've got say you got 1,000 chips on the bubble, right? And the payout is $15,000 in a $10,000 tournament for getting to the payout's $15,000 to get into the money. If you get in the money, you get 15 grand, right? And you bought in for 10. Fairly typical situation. And you got 1,000 chips. 5 other players have 1,000 chips. The rest of the field has 10 billion. If you're the one with 1,000 chips that busts, your 1,000 chips are worth nothing. But they're worth a huge amount if you just go up to the next level. You know what I mean? The value per dollar of chips for players that don't bust last, but they bust on the bubble. Once they make the money and bust, I don't know how to say it more obviously. You get where the bubble kind of matters?
Right. Well, I mean, obviously I think it's like obvious. I thought there was something I was missing. Like, I mean, I think that's like a
Right. So now zoom that out to like, when does the bubble really matter? Like, isn't it just kind of the case from the start of the tournament that that's true?
Man, we gotta get like a Fedor in here, or I gotta get a tournament player to talk about this.
No, it's not about tournament.
I've never thought about this in my life.
No, right, but you've played more tournaments than me probably. I played like four.
I played probably 4 or 5 tournaments in the past 3 or 4 years.
I guess all I'm saying is that if that's true at that point and people just trade money, if it's correct to trade money on the bubble, it's probably correct to trade money before the bubble. And what that kind of implies is that maybe there's a tournament strategy, that maybe there's an argument about playing poker tournaments that says don't just take the highest expectation spots.
So that's what the
take home lesson is that, like, on the bubble you shouldn't take a fucking 60-40, right? You'd be crazy to take a 60-40 if there's 5 players with 1,000 chips and everyone else has 10 billion, and you get in a spot that's a 60-40. If you're the guy that doesn't take those and the other 4 guys does, your expectation is like much higher.
Well, this is kind of like in Phil Galfan's recent tournament series he did on Run It Once, talking about PLO tournaments. He was basically saying this pretty much the exact thing, which is just you want to reduce your variance in spots. So instead of, especially at PLO, instead of giving it all in the spot where you're 55%, say you're like 45 to 60% equity, sort of on the, if you're going to break down where you think you're at in that hand, you should avoid those situations. And that's sort of the same thing you're saying as well then?
I'm kind of saying that survival in a tournament has intrinsic benefits. So like, you're making money simply by not busting. And it's hard to work out exactly how much. You know what I mean? Like, so look at the bubble. You're on the bubble, top 20 get paid, and there's 21, right? You're making money as long as you don't bust, because at any moment, someone else is going to bust. You know what I mean? Getting through a hand has value.
In this scenario, I guess so Hassan said he thinks the goal of a tournament is to get first, not min cash.
It doesn't. No, that's not. Yes, the payout structure favors that, but I'm not suggesting trying to min cash every tournament. What I'm saying is that surviving in a tournament has an intrinsic benefit. Building a big stack also has a intrinsic benefit. Like when you've got a large stack, you can put pressure on people that feel this way. So there's a value on the flip side, and it gets complicated pretty quickly. But it's something that I think about a lot, because I pretty much, coming from a cash background, I'm like, I got 53% equity, I got to take it. Like let's get all the money in for 55% equity. And I'm trying to work out why that wouldn't be true. And I think it's basically the concept that the bubble is pretty much the start of the tournament. It doesn't change it. Anyway, so I was thinking about that a bit in Vegas. I was doing some thinking about poker tournaments.
Do you think? So let's talk about PLO tournaments specifically. So yes, Tim said Joey will let someone talk strategy for 2 hours if it's about multi-table tournaments.
Yeah.
I will. I'll let anyone talk tournament strategy. They want to talk about tournament strategy. Why not? For PLO tournaments, so did you only play the 3K PLO 6 Max event then?
Yeah. My girlfriend came out and she wanted to do the Vegas thing and go to the pink octopus, which is her word for the spearmint rhino. That didn't happen, but it was kind of funny. We went and saw Michael Jackson's Cirque du Soleil. That was pretty good. And so I spent some time with her out there, and Steve Albini and Brandon Shaq Harris, those 2 guys, I was living with them in a poker house, so we kind of hung out a bit and did that. Plus I played some cash. But I think I should have, I don't know, I think if I was going to go out there again, I would go for a bit longer and just kind of grind cash. I think you need to live at a hotel, though, if you're going to play cash every day.
Some people say that they can't see the video right now. I'm imagining that's the YouTube side of things, because the chat wasn't working for a lot of people to start today. So if the video is down, then Yeah, if the video's down, I'm assuming it's on YouTube's side because we've never had any.
Yeah, we're still talking, and it's fine.
Yeah, we can still see each other's. We can still see each other, so it's definitely going to be on YouTube side of things. So whatever, we'll continue talking and let the video sort itself out later.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I was doing a fair bit of deep thinking about poker tournaments because it was something that I was sort of considering if I wanted to take that side more seriously. You know.
So what are you thinking? Are you thinking you're gonna maybe focus more on playing poker or playing live poker, take more live poker trips, or what?
Yeah, maybe a few more live poker trips. I think the optimal kind of thing to do would be to, I don't know, like, I don't feel like I necessarily want to get better at online poker as the like driving goal. I feel like maybe I'd rather just play in bigger live poker games and just kind of try to play more interesting games, you know? I think that traveling and playing high stakes poker cash might be an interesting way to go when combined with the other stuff I'm kind of up to, you know? Like, you know, just kind of taking a back seat a bit and playing a bit more like a casual player in big games.
I think that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, and you know, I think if you're like an interesting person and have an interesting life, it's kind of I think that could be pretty good way to go. Just kind of.
I think the same thing happened to you that happened to me in Las Vegas.
What's that?
That is, you played in these live games and you're like, why the fuck am I playing online PLO?
Yeah, maybe.
Believe me, that happened to me. I haven't played online in a couple months. Like, I mean, a couple months, maybe like 2 months. I just haven't played, and then I started like and then I'm taking a complete break from poker, and I'm focusing more on learning some other stuff and doing this side of things. But
Sure.
When I go back to the States, I'm definitely planning to play live poker because, like, I never believed it when people said live poker's. But man, I mean, the stakes are higher, the games are softer. Like, it's like, you know, it's sort of like wow, I'm a fucking idiot for not doing this for a long time.
In some ways. I mean, yeah. You also got to remember that you're getting like 20 hands an hour of PLO, like literally 20 hands an hour. You know, and you also need to have like big piles of money, you know, which it's like a different level of organization.
Yeah, I think with live poker, I mean, you can have your own money. Obviously, getting staked is extremely easy to do for a lot of people, especially if you're a winning player. Money to play, and even like some of the smaller stakes games at a 5-10. I mean, it's not hard to be able to be rolled to play like a 5-10 live game. And I actually, I mean, you get less hands an hour, but you know, I sort of enjoy, like, I actually enjoy talking to people, like, because you play online, like, you don't communicate with anyone really. So I really like the social aspect of things.
How much live poker you played though? Like, I've played a lot of live poker, and I agree with what you're saying, but doing it 50 hours a week is a grind.
I'm never going to do it 50 hours a week though. That's probably
like doing it 10 hours a week, you will suffer variance in a very brutal manner. You know, so it's like there's a bit of that, you know, because it's like the long run is just, you know, you're talking about 6 months to get any real hands in, you know. I
think there are ways to sort of. There's like ways to decrease your variance in some situations playing live poker. Like, there was definitely some plays playing live that I might have played a lot more aggressive. I think it goes back to that thing you said earlier. But just because it is going to be 20 hands an hour, and if I do lose a hand here, I know I might not be able to, you know. Like, I know it might affect my play, so there were definitely some situations that I might have played a little bit tighter than usual.
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Donnie about that, about a big hand, Ansky, that he was playing in Bobby's room. And, like, I started on that line of thinking, and he shut me down right away. We're talking about the strategy of it. And he was like, dude, it's 58-48. It's going to be 52-48. In this situation, but the pot size is like 1,000 pp, and he said the number was fucking huge, and it's like it's not going to be a factor about the psychology of it. You know what I mean? Like 4% of that money is a huge amount of money. Like, look at $2,000. If you get 4% of that, what is that? $80. like that's a fair bit of money. You know, it might actually be your 8 BB per 100. So.
I mean,
You know
I can understand
like that's like your win rate right there. Is that 4% on all the money? Yeah. So, I mean, it shouldn't be your live win rate. You should win more than 8 BB per 100 by a lot. But like, still, it's like if it's for all the money, you can't not take the edge. You know?
Yeah, 5248, 5248. Shout out to Google's nose, but I think yeah, 5248. That's funny. Oh man, yeah. Definitely something to think about when it comes to live poker.
Yeah. It's just a different thing. I think if you have the patience, there's still plenty of stuff going on in that world. I mean, there's still plenty of stuff going on in the online world. You just have to be working real hard, you know?
Yeah, I think you have to be working so hard that you can't really focus on anything else.
Right.
Because
that's it. You can't play it in your spare time.
Yeah, you can't. I don't even think you can play like 30 hours a week. And I mean, if you're in a really elite level at the end, you're so, you know, then I think I guess you can. But even then, I feel like it's got to be challenging for some guys who aren't really focusing on poker full time to still compete in the toughest games.
Yeah, I mean, that's you're describing me. I think that. Yeah, I just think it's tough to do it. I think it's tough to do it. I think it's tough to do anything part-time. Like, you can't write a book in your spare time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's you just got to wake up and do it every day. And then when you do that, a lot of your time away from what you're doing will be spent thinking about that as well. So you kind of like, your spare time becomes a lot more useful just by the nature of obsession.
I guess for poker though, you could be playing part-time, but be playing lower stakes. But at the same time,
lower stakes are a racket now. What are you gonna do? Like, play 1-2 PLO, 50-cent 1 PLO? It's like, good luck. Like, bot rings. Like, the rake is like a zillion BB per 100. Like, how much can you make playing 51 in your spare time? You know?
Yeah, it's certainly on the spectrum of things. It's certainly not. I mean, that's the thing. Some people can adjust their mindset to be like, you know what? It doesn't matter how much I can make in my spare time. I'm just going to play to keep playing. Like, but
yeah,
some people
what if it's actually nothing? Like, are there winning players at that level that are like not, you know?
Well, I just had a guy in a podcast yesterday, Alexei, Schuller Alt.
Okay.
And it was a great podcast, by the way. If you guys didn't check it out, I would check it out. He's very funny. It heats up in the second half of it. But he just did a prop bet at $50, and he won 100 buy-ins in a month playing $50.
Really?
Zoom.
Really?
Yeah. So very much possible.
At PLO?
At PLO, $50 PLO. Yep.
How many hands did he play?
I think he played about 90,000 hands.
It's curious. Was that how much he won after rake and everything?
No, he won that after. This was before rake back. This was just at the tables. He won 10K.
Okay, but he did pay rake in the hand. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that I'm sure FPPs he probably made maybe a couple thousand too.
Sure. Oh man, the nose. Murrow27 is asking if and how poker has helped in making music. I would say it's helpful. I think poker like gets you to think about how to. Just getting good at anything is kind of a process that. There's just a process to improvement that I think moving up poker stakes makes very obvious. You know, like, it's very, very clear that as you move up stakes, you've gotten better. Like, it's really clear financially. It's clear in the plays you play. The site says good work. You've done better. You did good. You know, like, you're now at 1-2 rather than 51. Like, it's really obvious. And so, like, you kind of, when you first climb up the stakes, you sort of, I guess the first thing that happens is you get killed sometimes, you know, and so you have to step down and work out what didn't work, but still kind of have the kind of pluck and also the objectivity to re-engage in the game, become passionate about it again, but like also work out exactly what went wrong. And I think that that's true in pretty much everything. Yeah, like look at any athletic achievement or business success, and like you'll see that there's a huge amount of variance and a lot of plateauing in the actual process of getting good at something. And so I think playing music is such a difficult industry that like it's so rewarding and so easy to basically learn music to the point that you can really enjoy it and express yourself in your free time. But if you want to be able to do it all the time, it's like very difficult to find ways to do that. It's very competitive, and there's very you really have to think about it just as expressing yourself and doing it for the right reasons. But along that pathway, I think you just keep plateauing and you keep finding different difficulties within it. And I think that that's very similar to poker. You know, you kind of just got to get back up and find out how to get around this problem that you don't seem to be able to work out, you know? But that's, I don't know. There's a lot of introspection, I think, is a really simple way of saying a lot of that. Is that like to be a good poker player, you have to be kind of introspective while still also having kind of a certain amount of arrogance. And I think that's also very true in music, you know? And you also just have to just decide you're going to do it, you know? Like you just, like when you're running really bad, right? You just got to be like, I'm just running bad. I don't care. I'm just going to keep dumping off the money and just keep playing. And if I lose all of it, that's just the way it is, you know? And simultaneously, while being like that, you have to be like, okay, but I'm going to study the whole time I do it. You know what I mean? Like you have to have the faith in yourself while simultaneously having like no faith in yourself and a total disregard for it, you know?
It's running bad. You're just like, fuck it, I'm going broke. Yeah,
you got to trust in something almost, not like a God type thing, but like you got to trust that your own abilities will be able to move you in a direction that is going to solve your problem. But you also have to be able to trust that that thing's not going to solve your problem for you. You got to sit down and work out a pathway, you know?
I get. You can also take from poker. You can also just. I think this is anything, but from poker specifically, I feel like you accomplish things at poker. So don't die. You can take that feeling of accomplishment that you achieved from poker, and you can sort of apply that to doing anything. So you sort of know what it takes to get there. So it's sort of like whenever you learn something, like you said, you realize that it's not just going to be straight up, like it's going to be ups and downs, but you've been there before, so you know that it's possible for you to get there again at something else too.
Right. So like right now, I'm booking a tour in the US for October, November, and the visa situation is such that I suddenly, basically this tour is going to get canned because they made it so that it takes twice as long to get the visas I need to do it. They just sent me an email to do this, and so now I can't make the first commitments for the shows, even though I was like super organized with it, you know, like huge bad beat. So sometimes that sort of thing kind of makes you feel like it's impossible and you're getting nowhere, and oh, it was really good a year ago in this spot, but now is it really good or isn't it? And like if you look at some of the things, they're going really well, and some of the things are just kind of going nowhere. And I don't know, I just look at that and I'm like, well, I don't know. I went from having like a lot of success at NL to being like totally broke. And then after that to kind of getting way past where I was up to that point, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of variance involved. And if whenever you're at the low end of things, you just hurricane your life away, you don't really it's like more how you treat the losses, and like you can't get disheartened by them, you know? I don't know. Basically just persistence. Yeah.
So what's going to be the next step with the band for you the next year? You're still, that sounds like that situation is still being figured out, but
yeah, we've got
there
some
a next
shows in
step right now?
Montreal, and like we'll keep playing there. We'll plan another tour for the US probably next year. I have a friend's band, and one of my friends has been in China. So we worked out an itinerary for that in March. So touring in China in March would be great. We've got a 9-show kind of itinerary we could do, and that would be pretty awesome. Like if we could go over there, tour for 2 weeks, 9 shows in 2 weeks, then I could fly to Macau, play high stakes for 2 weeks, and then fly back and make some more videos in virtual reality or something. That could be a pretty good way to go.
Good old China, man. Good old China.
Yeah, it's a. You ever go to China?
I haven't been to China yet.
Yeah, it's yeah, I haven't been recently either. Yeah, I haven't been to China recently. To answer Mad Jorgensen's question, like, I don't think you really fill the venues in the first time you do it. You know, like I don't think that it just takes time. You know, you don't go somewhere the first time and play to like 1,000 people there. You know, you go there and then you kind of play to 30 people. And then those 30 people, like, you know, it sort of starts from somewhere. Like, how do you get a single customer in your store, you know? Like, I don't understand how a small retailer can sell a designer t-shirt to someone. Well, they don't start by selling it to 10,000 people. They start selling it by one person, and then maybe that one person becomes 2 people, and maybe that 2 people become 7 people, and it sort of grows from there, you know?
It's all a big grind, isn't it?
Well, yeah, so you just also try to make it, like, I don't know, if you enjoy doing the work, it's not really a grind, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like...
If you enjoy playing poker, you're still grinding, technically.
Yeah, but I feel like the connotation is like you're playing past the point that you enjoy it with the idea that you should do that anyway, you know? Like you're playing maybe an unhealthy amount of poker for some unknown reason. That's how I think of grinding. It's like I'm not playing a healthy amount of poker, but I don't care because poker provides its own rewards mentally, you know? It's like I don't care that things are being sacrificed a little bit because the thing I'm doing provides like this kind of intangible benefit that others might not understand. You know, the benefits of obsession are very lonely, you know? Like you can't really fully articulate why you like doing it, but you're getting something out of it by going down the rabbit hole, you know?
I gotta say, this podcast today and the podcast tomorrow we're gonna be doing are gonna be very different. And I fixed the video on my end. Yeah, I turned the video off and I turned it back on at the top of the page. So you might be able to try that, Alexei.
Sure. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Welcome back. Yeah, the podcast tomorrow is going to be very different than this one. So I'm going to enjoy this one, and it's for its wisdom, and I'm going to enjoy tomorrow's podcast for its unwisdom. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, So I feel like we covered some things. I don't think I fully convinced you with my strategy talk there. So it's tough on the Poker Life cast because you don't want to go too far down the that way of thinking.
What? Wait, you don't think about the tournament, or what about what?
I'm just nothing. I'll continue trying to teach you about poker tournaments in the future. The next time, it can
I feel like
a 2-minute segment.
Somebody tried teaching me about ICM. Fedor did, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Exploded.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, cash player. I'm like that, except I'm trying to like I figure it's likely that I just start going to Vegas every year and just kind of include that as part of my year, And if that's the case, I've decided I got to get better at tournaments because I'm just going to keep playing the main event and the PLO,
That's a good point, Poppy. That's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
I mean, if it's going to be a part of your life, you should at least know how ICM works,
Yeah, I guess
it's really easy to learn that shit, and it's really important for tournament play. So
I've got a theory, Alexei, and that theory is if tournament players know how to do it, I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Shots at tournament players. Come on, what?
It could become an expensive habit. I don't know. It's just not that easy, I think that a lot of cash players kind of look down on tournaments, and it's I don't think it's that easy.
I don't mean that it's easy to be awesome at tournaments. I'm just saying if tournament players can understand ICM, I can understand ICM. I just have to.
Oh yeah, sure. Tournaments are hard, but tournament players are idiots, is what you're saying. I could get behind that. No.
You ever talk to these guys? Okay, seriously, go talk to 10 tournament players in Vegas, and then talk to 10 cash game players in Vegas. You're going to notice a much different.
20 players definitely smoke a lot more pot. That's definitely true. Yeah.
What are your?
I don't know about the beef.
Ron says, "What's Alexei's thoughts on the Drake and Meek Mill beef?"
I don't know it. I don't know that. Meek Mill Drake. Meek Mill says he's done beefing with Drake. You get a shitload of press for having a beef. Maybe we need a beef.
You really do.
Maybe we need to get in a beef together.
What could the beef be about?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we can have a poll. Maybe we can have a poll about what we're beefing about.
Yeah,
we can crowdsource our beef.
Definitely could. Hassan said Kate Hall and Matt Salzberg, followed by Schiller 8 ALT. Enough said in terms of tournament players compared to cash game players.
I see. Our band doesn't have beef. Maybe that's what we need as well. Joey and I need a beef, and then Alexei Martov needs a side beef.
Who can I beef with? Maybe I can. I think I actually know someone I can beef with.
You need to beef with you can't beef with Somerville because he's too likable.
Right.
So that
it could be
come off too bad. You could beef with, maybe. What would be, what I mean by a beef is great is imagine if you and Lafort were kind of workout enemies and poker friends. You know what I mean? If you two were really had a hatred for each other based on this fundamental difference on how you guys get a pump. And half your posts were just ragging about his poor technique and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? You would get a little love for that. You know what I mean? People love a good beef.
Yeah, I think Lafort is going to win. Lafort's gonna overtake me in any sort of beef that we have. Everyone loves Lafort.
No, I wasn't suggesting that. I do think he would be. I don't think you should enter that beef lightly.
Well, if
you think about it, I'm sure you'll think about another poker person you can kind of get a little beef with.
I think it's Phil Hellmuth because he big-timed me pretty badly in Vegas. I'm still upset about that.
I saw you guys shooting hoops. He does the side shot like Obama. That's his shot. Do you ever see Obama shoot ones from the perpendicular point? What do they call that in basketball?
Yeah, that's his shot too.
Yeah, that's his shot. No backboard, just in the hoop from the side. You can tell he's as a kid, he's I'm just going to master this shot. Just do one shot real good to be an asshole. I think Obama did the same thing. He's you know what? Optimal strategy for me to play horse good is just to have one tough shot and just nail it every single time.
I guess it's not the worst strategy at basketball, but it's a terrible strategy for anything else.
Yeah. I mean, you need to be able to do more than one thing if you're the president of America.
Yeah. What they say I should do. Ross said, "Does Jamie still not like Jimmy Staples?" No, I like Jimmy Stapler. I like Jimmy Stapler, man. He's cool. He works hard. That kid's a hard worker. He's got a little businessman in him. I talked to him for a bit in Vegas.
What you're doing right now is half the fans are going to defend what you're saying. You see what I mean? You got to let them say that. That's the whole point of having a beef. Half the people will be like, Joey Ingram is an asshole, and they'll defend this guy. And then the other half will be like, that's not what Joey means. What he really means is this. And then they'll have this whole community based around your beef while you sit there just being like, Kanye is a master of it. He's a master of eating meat. The beef. The beef.
I think I'm gonna beef with Phil Hellmuth.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a beef. I think you've got it in you as well. Just wear the crown, Joey.
I mean, yeah, I gotta go for the title, man. He just gave Samantha Abernathy that he gave her that stimulus package on Twitter and started pumping her up. This, did you see that at all?
No. He's pumping up the beef.
Yeah, he got. What'd you say?
He's sorry. No, just talk. What's the stimulus package?
He gave Samantha Abernathy the stimulus package on Twitter, where he started tagging her in a bunch of things and posting photos with her, and then talking about how she's the best. And then all of a sudden, now her platform's slowly rising, and
yeah, you got a beef with him.
I'm gonna think of some stuff. I'm gonna think about this. I'm not beefing with Jay.
It could be the silver bullet, the magic bullet. Could be the magic bullet.
Could be. Maybe if Hellmuth cheating on his wife. Maybe that's a story to put out there.
That's too far. That's too far. But that's maybe what you need to do. Maybe you'll get some TMZ love or something.
Huh. It's actually not a bad idea.
Anyway, you can't think about that. This is the Poker Life cast. That was a dark thought you had there, Joey. This is meant to be about love and acceptance. You're like,
Allegedly,
I can manufacture
was seen with
spreading lies of fidelity. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, I guess we can probably leave it there. Poker Life cast. Has anyone got any questions?
That's a very sinister last thought right now.
Well, what's not sinister is this penguin video that we can leave everyone with.
Zach says Stinger would be easy and hit home due to long friendship. I'm not beefing with Stinger. You fucking come on, Zach.
Your choice not to do that is gonna be your downfall. It's the people that you don't feel like you can beef with. That's who you got to beef with. That's just wear the crown, Joey.
Actually,
I'm gonna turn you into a horrible person.
If I started beefing with Stinger, that would be
no.
That would be really funny.
Yeah. It would be until it wasn't, and then that's when you'd get the love. But
that's true.
Yeah, we'll see.
You're Australian, right?
Yeah, I'm Australian. Also Canadian.
Australian.
What is beef?
Amoral says Joey brushes off haters like Jay-Z brushes their up his shoulders. Positivity, FTW. Yeah, I don't really think about that.
There you go. You're not a beefer. You're a lover. Maybe you can get some love by being a lover.
Maybe I should date a female poker. I mean, I've already talked about this. I don't want to, but maybe I should try to get with the stimulus package and I don't know, man. Who could I date? Like,
you shouldn't think that question.
Any dude? No, that'd probably be a bad move.
Any dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you're her type. I don't know if you're Annie's type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any dude.
I'm gonna be thinking about this more. Thank you for putting this thought into my head, Poppy.
Yeah. Well, don't become too Machiavellian in your quest for beef.
Kate Hall. No, I don't think Kate Hall gets a. She's not a. Doesn't do much. Doesn't boost much in terms of the. You guys, it's got to be like a. There's no real man. Yeah. There's no female Phil Hellmuth right now.
Yeah, there isn't. Oh, the women in poker are pretty respectable. There isn't a brat. It's like they have to be. It's like one of those things where women talk about how they have to be better than men to get equal treatment. And that aspect of poker is definitely true. Like, you can't be a bratty woman in the poker world. Like, people will be like, that's a bitch. That woman is a bitch. I hate her. You know? And, like, she'll get destroyed on 2+2. Like, you just got to be... All the women in poker that have any kind of notoriety are either, like, ninjas and never talk to anyone, or they are really, really, really nice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't think of anyone that's really... Maybe there are a few, but I can't think of any that are just, like, rats, you know?
Maybe I need to get out of this industry. Well, maybe I need to get into a different industry.
Well, yeah. Poker world's kind of... That's another dark thought for the Poker Life podcast. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
you're in like Germany. You just went to Tomorrowland in Belgium. Like, it's not that bad, buddy. Like, you're seeing this woman in Germany. You're carefree. You're talking on the podcast. You're getting some love. Like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Sometimes you got to count your blessings.
And here we are thinking about beefs and
well,
here we are thinking about beefs.
That's just for fun. That's just for fun.
So
I would definitely say the second run.
An ass man.
But let's maybe we'll leave it there. What do you think?
Wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. Anyone got any remaining questions?
I think they have a lot of questions, Poppy.
They always do. They always do.
Tommy said, final 2 tables of stars turning using the podcast Run Good. The unspoken podcast Run Good. Shout out to you, Tommy. Keep it up, puppy.
Shout out.
Hassan says Joey and Jen Shahad would be like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of poker. Definitely not sure. I think that's actually a good thing. I should what guy comparable in like the rap world am I in poker right now? Or what guy are you comparable in poker right now? Like,
who am I? I'm like,
I just thought of one for you.
who are you thinking? What is it? Well, poker players as rappers?
It's like maybe like Nelly, you know?
Nelly? I'm washed up. That's true.
You're not playing poker anymore.
It's probably not bad. It's like relatively infamous and then just kind of disappeared out of that world. Yeah. I'm in jail. That's what happened. In the rap world, I would be in jail right now. I just kind of disappeared.
I was gonna say you were like Ja Rule, but you never beefed with anybody, so I couldn't say that.
Yeah, I might have had some beef. Usually honorable beef.
Your hair looks like a 17-year-old European girl right now.
Mine?
The way it's styled. That's the very moment in time, yes.
That's the look I'm going for.
No, it's different now. Okay, yeah, it was like how the way it would cut in the front, it looked like some of these European girls I've been seeing around out here.
Oh yeah? You've been eating lots of bread? Lots of German bread?
They're the Joey is Zygmunt of rap world. No man,
Joey is the Zygmunt of the rap world. That's very meta.
That's very meta. R. Kelly, come on, I got to ban. I'm ready to ban some people.
Yeah.
Oh. Drake is more like the Hollywood hacks of rap.
Sorry, 1 second.
We'll get some shout outs. Kevin Clarkson's about to get banned for comparing me to Meek Mill. Actually, I'm going to ban him for comparing me to Meek Mill. That's not even nice. Kevin, got to shower you for today, buddy. It's been nice. I got a lot of love for you. Hit me back on Facebook. I'll unban you later on. Who we got? Daniel. What's up, Daniel Puppy? Dr. Flush. What's up, Doc? Zach, Wim, Mads, Ron, Immoral, Marco, Calabolo, Slay Show. What's up, Slay? Andre, Mads, Luke. You back in the house?
Yeah, I'm back in the house. Oh, yeah,
Slay
show, 1 second.
Joey, okay. Slay Show says, Joey, would you get shot in the arm to sleep with Kate? What are you talking about, weirdo? I get shot in the arm? I don't know what that means. Let's see. What else we got here? Terry's, you're saying some weird shit, but what's up? Greg Fox is getting involved in a sex triangle with Liv Boree. I don't think so. Well, that could create some. That'd be a beef, I guess. Emil's, what's up, Emil's? All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna. I think I gotta go. I'm gonna go do some singing. But
All right. Good.
it's always a pleasure coming on the Poker Life cast. I like your you got a little following going on here. That they've friendly people in the chat. Friendly people.
Of course, we ban all the mean people.
Yeah, there you go. Enforced friendliness. It's very.
It's like North Korea around here.
No, I'm not tilted. I'm not tilted. Maybe tired.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I've only got love for the Poker Life cast. Anyway, so yeah, maybe a beef with the bots. The botting is not working.
I'll think about it, man. I'll chat with you soon, Poppy. We'll catch up.
Yeah, always a pleasure. I hope your little German adventure is going well, and I'm eager to hear the conclusion to this story sometime. And if anyone wants to know about that crazy penguin video we were talking about, I think Joey's going to throw it in the description maybe of this video. Is that right?
Yep, I'm gonna. Yeah, put it on your Twitter right now too. Like at Alexei Martov, guys, if you want to go, if you want to follow Alexei on Twitter. And
yeah, okay.
I will. Yep, and I will have the link up there. Yeah. And that'll be it. And then, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Pretty similar time, maybe a bit earlier, with Luke, the Bad Beat Slayer, and.
You have anyone else on lately? Who should I catch up on? I've been really busy, but I could watch some Poker Life cast.
That's a good question for the people in the chat. So I had Gogol's Nose on. He's like an old school crusher, no limit guy.
I played plenty with that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really GTO. He was a real GTO guest. Very nice guy. And then we had Kate Hall on, and Kate Hall is this girl who's wrote a feminist article.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and
that's just all she's done. She wrote one feminist article, or does she have any other like?
Well, she plays. She used to be a lawyer, or she used to. Yeah,
Did she play poker?
Yeah, she plays poker. She went to Yale and worked in law. They quit playing law. Plays cash games. She loves deep stacked poker. And she's really nice. Yeah, I enjoyed talking to her.
Lots of shit.
We had Matt Salzberg on. He's a tournament player. Didn't talk much about poker. He as a writer and a producer for. He did. I guess the biggest TV show he did was called Weeds. So he wrote for that.
Sure, I've seen Weeds. Shows Matthew Salzberg. Shows Entourage. Big Wolf on Campus.
And I had Jen Shahad on. That was probably that one and the last one I did was Shoulder ALT. Those are probably my. I would recommend those two to people. Probably the Jen Shahad one. That was good because she's pretty awesome.
Sure. Well, that's great. You've been talking to some interesting people. I'll next time we chat, I think I'll be able to show you some crazy shit though. I'm eager to see that what's gonna happen with this virtual reality stuff. I've been animating a lot actually, animating this world that you're gonna be able to view through Oculus Rift. So that's gonna be
sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be like me and Jay are working pretty hard on it, but I'm not at the point where I can you know what I mean? It's like it's not there yet.
Yeah.
But when it is,
did you see that?
When it is, I'm gonna come by and show you one of these headsets and just be like, "This is welcome." And yeah, it'll be an interesting thing. At some point, maybe you can do one of these in 360. You know, like you'll just be able to put the goggles on and you'll just be sitting there in the room. You know, it's the future, man. Like people are gonna do this in VR in the future.
Yeah, do you know who Igor Kurganov is?
Igor Kurganov?
Yeah.
No.
Poker player?
Igor Kurganov.
I did a podcast with him live in Vegas, and you'd really like him because I can't even imagine you two having a conversation with each other. That'd be fun.
Okay.
I had Sauce on too. I don't know if you saw my other ones back because I had Sauce and Ben86 on. I had both of those guys on. Those were really
He's
good.
best known by his screen name Ragin70. I've played with that guy before.
No, that's not Igor Kurganov. That's Nicholas Heinecker.
Oh, okay. There was then maybe they're at the same final table or something. Igor Kurganov.
Yeah, they're.
What's his screen name?
What's his screen name on Poker Stars? I don't remember actually. What was it? Yeah, I don't remember. I never knew it. I think I asked him then because I didn't know what it was, and I still don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. All right, let's wrap it up, kid. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Yep. Let's say bye. Always a pleasure, my friend. Here's
All right,
a
Poppy.
digital fist
Much
bump.
love. Thanks for coming on. Guys in the chat, I'll see you soon. Talk to you soon. And that's it. Peace.
Okay.